Hello everybody, my name is Zelanator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld. Here we are as the Zella Moon rises. There's a rendering problem. I don't know if I'm able to fix it, but it's in regards to the resource pack, and I don't know if it's a resource pack problem or if it's a Minecraft being Minecraft problem. What's this at 16? That's alright. So off in the distance, stuff turns black and then it turns invisible. And I don't know how to fix that. And I don't even know if it's going to be fixed by the full release. I have not yet bothered testing that. So we're going to deal with that for the time being. But anyways, unrelated to that, we have work to do. I wrapped up all the way over there, and good news, I fixed it. The map's back. Hooray! And all the goods that were in the chest have now returned and whatnot. I think that's about that. Alright, so there are also other chests out in the monolith. That's all fixed, and the beta 1.2 area, and a few other outposts I had lying around. I brought those chests back. Hooray! Reloaded. Now that 1.15 fixes the upgrade process for early chests. Also did the same thing with the Nether Farlands goods. Probably. I'll find out when I get there. So, what we are working on. Why do those beacons look terrible? I know. They redid the entire rendering engine in 1.15, and now I'm definitely seeing it. But what we're looking for is redstone. I put away all the stuff I had already, and so we came out with 4 stacks of blocks plus 9, plus an extra 6 dust. How are we doing on torches? We don't have any torches. A moderate amount of repeaters, though. So here's what we're going to do real fast. Let me just snag all this. Poop. Also got to take this extra stack of blocks. Step 1, we're going to make a stack of torches. Yeah, the world, I feel better now that I fixed the maps. I fixed those missing chests. And that's about it. That's mostly what I did, other than travel all the way back here. I could use the nether again. Hooray. And I needed... I'm pretty sure I already have repeaters over there, but we're going to take another stack anyway. Is that it? Is there anything else I really need to take with me? I could take cobblestone. I remember leaving a bunch of stuff over at the work area, so we'll just go and find out. Let me also drop the bed down. I need food. Speaking of food, how about we go grab more real fast? Yeah, as of right now, the performance is not the best, and I'm gonna say, well, we're still in the pre-release phase, as you could tell by the darkness in the distance. I'm pretty sure I remember this bug, and it's so weird because look, it's like my gravel house is floating, but it's not. It's an illusion. But yeah, it goes away when I use the default resource pack, so I don't know what the dealio is. But it's just gonna be like this for an unknown amount of time. So, whatever they did between 19W36A and 1.15 pre-1, something done goofed, and we're just gonna hope this gets fixed soon. Preferably before the full release, but we'll see. It looks like planks and stone turn black, but grass turns invisible. Wonder if there's a model problem. It's so weird though, because I don't know what the problem is, and I don't know how to fix it. I'd have to look back at every block model I modified, which I want to say is a lot of block models. I'm pretty sure I brought over everything in 1.13 because that was when I I wanted to save the entirety of 1.13 as it is for textures and whatnot before updating to 1.14. That way I would not have to utilize the any of the in-game stuff. It's also weird seeing the sides of blocks be so bright. This is almost like what it was back in beta 1.8. Yeah, it turns out I had more cobblestone than I thought. Oops. That's okay, I suppose. So let's grab all of this. Right, yeah, let's grab some of that. Stone, I suppose. I don't know where all this gravel came from. I don't remember what I was... Oh, I know, I was going to use it for pathways. I wanted to build a pathway between here and the dam and the power... Well, yeah, the power station, the dam, and the Zelenako building. Alright, so... Look at the black on the sides. Wub, wub, wub. Hooray, video game graphical rendering. Not important. So, I believe we're still in the middle of being down below. Let me grab stone because I think I needed that. I needed stone, redstone, and torches. And I need to find which side was complete. Unless I did all of them already. Oh, so it looks like all of those are done. Maybe what's not done is the inside portion. I gotta find the one that's completed. That'd be this one here, I think. Alright, so the torch is on that side. So that's where the torch goes, plus the dust. And then it's mirrored on here, which puts the torch there. And then the bottom side here. So the small one doesn't go anywhere, but this one has stone, which I think I already placed down, with a torch on the opposite side. With stone on top. So let me get to that. Alright, I think now I'm done down here. Until I do something with all the individual wires. I don't think out of time. One of these wires is going to go all the way to the Zelenako, but I'll figure that out based on whatever direction is closest. Alright, so I think it was this one that was completed. Yeah, because this is the only one that has this light on. So from there, it's looking like... I need to make sure that when I'm in the corner, I have the torch, dust, and then I'm pretty sure that torch should already be there. Maybe torch, dust. Torch, dust. Oh, there's where the that comes from, but I'm pretty sure there's torches that go up in there. I have not yet figured that out, because I want to say there's a torch, and I have a torch pillar. So yeah, what it looks like is I have the torch pillar that goes up, and then from there, it's a couple stone, making the little L. The little L. Alright, I'll deal with that soon. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put the repeaters in between each of these. Oops. That's a repeater, that's a repeater. I gotta transmit the signal through the block. Oops. Gotta transmit the signal through the block. And hold on, let me take care of this real fast. And we're gonna try not to fall in again. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. It's the 2 dust and the redstone. I should say the 2 dust and the repeater. And then while I'm here, let me complete the side by finishing the pillar. There we go, there's 2 done. I might just wrap up both of these sides first, and then go from there. Wrap up both sides, then sleep, I should say. So then I need to hop on top, not hop on pop. I want to say I have a copy of Hop on Pop somewhere. I think I've talked about it before. I have a few Dr. Seuss books from back in the day. Back in the day being, you know, the 90s. Am I all done? I think so. Yep, this is the last one. I just have to put down the last torch and ta-da! If I did everything correct, this all works. So now, here's what we have to test out. So we have to test out the master switch for each of these. I flip that, all those go off. Coolio. I flip this one, those all go off. Pretty big delay, but that's alright. Let me just make sure real fast, using this one as a basis. Let me make sure real fast that there's indeed not actually a signal going through. I probably should have verified that. Oh, it's actually the inverse. So what I could do is swap all these out for torches. Because I've realized that the signals are off by default. So we're going to include another torch. So that way, if it's off, it is on. I didn't even realize that before, but I realized I'd rather transmit a positive signal when there is indeed a positive signal. I don't need to do any more inversions over here. I want the signal that comes off of this to be the signal I send. So when this power runs out, that's when it's off. So I guess technically now I have a little more option for where I want the directions to go. I'm just using this as the default starting point, but I'll figure it out from there. So let's head up top. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a complicated setup, especially since I totally remember using pistons before. Using pistons to push blocks with repeaters that would send the signal through. And so I would have all the repeaters connected to the master switch. I should say all the pistons connected to the master switch, and so if I turn the master switch off, the pistons retract, and then the signal can no longer come through here, out the block, and go forward. But instead I ended up doing this super overly complicated setup. But that's okay. So if I flip that off, here's what we gotta do now. We gotta eat because we're hungry. But we're gonna head over to the dam and start disabling some of the inputs. So I press this button, decrease power. We are now at power level 3. I should get signs, level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I press that, power level 4, I should say the master switch over here, the quadrant should no longer be transmitting. You can see all that's off, no matter whatever I do about the lever there. Probably, let me make sure. So, switch is in the down position. That signal is indeed currently off. I flip it again. Still off. Cool, that's exactly what I wanted. So now we can also see input number 4 over here. That one's currently disabled. Do I have any signs over here? It'd be cool if I brought more. I did not. I thought I brought a bunch of signs recently. Maybe I spent all of them already. So let me decrease the power again. So now we're outputting only level 3. As you can tell by 2 of those being blocked, with 2 of those being blocked, no power is being transmitted. So then I hop on in here. So now input 4 and 3 are off. All these lights are currently off. Hooray! I think I did it. In a terrible system, but that's alright. Decrease power. So now we only have level 1 going. So now most of these are currently off. Same thing with 2. Input 1 is the last thing going. And so when I turn input 1 off, this is when the big one happens, because this is gonna deactivate the most amount of redstone, because there are certain things that require at least level 1 power. Like all the lights in here. No more power is being generated, therefore we no longer have building lights in here. That's alright, we're not gonna be traveling too far. Yep, everything's now all nice and set. Let's head on back. So, let's start getting the power going again. Hello! We will turn the power on after this green bean leaves. Oh, there he goes. Took a while for him to notice me. Hiya! Hiya! Target eliminated. Where are those white particles from? Maybe that was just the green bean getting defeated. Anyways, let's start bringing the power back online. I still don't know how spammable this is, but I'd rather not test it. So once that light over there turns on, that should be enough of a delay that everything's working. So now what I'll need to do over here, I'm going to want dedicated ceiling lights. As long as we are receiving power from input number 1. As long as we are receiving input number 1 power, I want lights over here to be on. Alright, so now we're all nice and set. Alright, so what I'm thinking, I'll leave this as it is for now, because this is the signal I want. This is the general area where I want to take the signal, unless if I work on it from the outside. Because I still don't know what I'm going to do for the roof. I could just slab it up like what I did over there. Wait, but I'm also going to want a way to control it. So that means, where's a good place where I could plop a signal? Somewhere on this quadrant, because all of this is input number 1. I did think about having an outside box, but as I sit here and I consider it, do I really need to? What I'm probably going to end up doing is making a bunch of iron bars and putting those all around here. That will be like, do not enter, danger, high voltage, or whatever, you know, redstone. I don't even know if redstone transmit of some sort of voltage. Do we even know what sort of power redstone emits? I feel like the answer is currently a big wobbin' nope. Alright, so either way, I might be able to squeeze the lever in here. Howdy Koski, welcome back. Redstone power does indeed make the most amount of logical sense. So I'm thinking of kind of just having the 2 wires just sort of hada-bada over here. I just need to make sure that I can get the signal up and not interfere with this or this. So that means what I could do, drop the lever, I guess right around there. Oops, that's too high. So lever's got to be 1 block away from that one. And then what we're going to do, put a torch, and instead of redstone going down, we're going to have a block going up. I think. Unless if I wanted to have it combined down below, but then I'll still have to send the signal up, like on this side over here. I might as well just stick to the high side. So if I put that there, set that torch down, and then over here I can pull the signal. I could pull it from this side. Oopsies. That was not Silk Touch. Alright, so I can pull this signal. So I just need to bring these two together. So the way I can do that is say no to you. Just separate that. And now I can slide this over. In fact, hold on here, let's be smart about this. What we're going to do is move it over once we hit here. 1 additional degree of separation. In fact, I could even start going down now. So all I have to do is take that signal and then AND it with probably this signal. Because if I put that block here, I'll just have to put 1 extra torch. You know, at this point, this is what we call overcomplicated. Because if I'm going to go this far, I might as well just bring this signal over like that. Well, Zelamoon has risen though. We'll take care of that real shortly here. Alright, so what I need, a little bit more, what I need is to take this one, and then take this one. And I need to think how exactly I want to do this. Oh wait, hold on. 1 torch and 1 torch. Do that. There you go, there's my AND gate. So this one just has to drop. Which means I might as well run this on the floor at this point. Howdy Ian, welcome back. Perhaps the soreness is not as bad as you were anticipating it would have been. Slime, can you not be here? I'm working. I am powering the world, so that way people like you have light. As if the slime was a person. Alright, so... what side was I on? Zoop. Using the natural knockback, in addition to knockback 2, is rather extreme. Alright, I think now we're all set though. So the last thing I have to do is take this signal and then send it up to the roof, because that's where all the lights will be. Unless if I really wanted to put lights in the floor. Oh wait, you know what? I forgot, I don't have something. You know what I don't have? I don't have signal returns. Oop. I didn't think about that. Alright, so... Maybe I should put the signal returns in the floor and then keep the general lights above. I didn't think about that. Alright, how much space do I have in the middle here? Not a lot. Okay. Signal returns cannot go down here. I don't think. Because I would want them like over here. So unless if I find a way to move the redstone out of the way in these particular areas. Well, you know what? I guess it's easier on the sides over here. All the redstone that I would have to move is just in the middle. Decisions. So it really only looks like these two outer wires that have to go into the gate. Otherwise, the other 8 on the sides are all fine. Alright, I think I might fill in that cave down there. Cover it up. So this is where the lamps would go. We're gonna run out, I think. Oh no, we're gonna have 4 extra. I don't know yet what I'll do for signal returns. We're just gonna leave them empty. That's a problem for future me. We're gonna have one signal return set up, and that's gonna be the one we have for the Zelenako, which is very likely going to be this one over here, because this switch goes off in that direction. It just makes most amount of sense. So we're going to temporarily turn that one off. That way I get to see which redstone is different than all the others. So that will help me identify which one is going to be used for the warehouse. And then I'll flip it back on once I've identified it. So it looks like this one. So that means I don't need the torch going that way. I'll just have it going that way. Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, sorry, cave. Let's start filling you in. I need access over here to a proper floor. Maybe I won't fill the whole thing in, but at least most of it. Oh wait, it's right underneath where I needed it. Never mind. Bye-bye. It's like there never was a cave now. Okay, so getting the signals over here shouldn't be too bad. I'll probably just have torches and then I'll negate them at some point. At some point before the wire gets here. I hear you, Zomble. We're also going to make sure to turn all of these off for now because there's technically not a signal returning, but that's because there's no signal as a whole. Alright, so this is where things get interesting because now I have to move this over. And I cannot go down because I already have this space being utilized. I guess what I could do is just leave them off for now and then deal with them when I get there. But I still want to make sure that all of this gets turned off. Oh wait, do I even have a good way to turn these off? I don't want to use repeaters. Alright, block deconstruction, go. Alright, those are off, and then I only have to turn these 3 off. And whoop. I'll have to turn those 3 off because this one is what's going to be used for the Zelenico. Alright, let me start doing some math because I need to know where I'm going to start and where we're going to end up. So this is the part where I whip out Notepad. 43, 32, 6, 13. And so the end result for the signal, how far does this have to travel? I'm going to have to go underneath there, which means we'll need to be rather low to make sure we don't run into any of that. I don't even know where I'm going to pull the return signal from over here. Howdy, welcome back. The input I established, I either have a repeater or a torch. This is the torch. So this is where I have to get the signal into. And I just need to make sure that all of this redstone stays powered. So this right here, I've created a loop. This is not going to work. Let's move this over real fast. I realize that repeater will power that, and that's not what I wanted. So to correct that, oh wait, hold on. I know how to fix it. Let's have to do that. There we go. Oh wait, hold on. There's no redstone on the backside of this, right? No, alright, cool. Because I was making sure that this block doesn't power any extra redstone now. I didn't make any banners on here. I don't even know if I made banners just to put in the block museum. I feel like I did, because I'm pretty sure I have other entities in there, like armor stands. I should say an armor stand. Alright, well anyways, so I just have to make sure that these two repeaters stay powered. You can only apply up to 6 patterns per banner natively, but there's a bunch of different patterns, so the amount of combinations you can create, in addition to all the colors, is a very large number. But yeah, banners with more than 6 patterns is what he's talking about, since 6 is the vanilla cap. Alright, so we're looking at 561, 31, we only dropped a block, and then 594. Okay, so 43 to 6 or to 561. Which axis is this? This is X. That's where we primarily need to move. I'll probably slide over on the Z first and then go in a straight line from there. Let me just take a quick peek outside to see if there's anything I'm likely to run into if I were to start from this side first. All of this is flat, so as long as I don't go down too far. But eventually we're going to hit the redstone over here. What did I say, 594? As this one. So at 512, 31, 594. So that's that point right there. I might be able to miss all of this if I did keep going forward. I just need to make sure I don't run into any of the redstone underneath here. But before we do all that, we shall catch some Z's and then go from there. And then I'll apply the redstone on this side, which means maybe what I'll do is I'll put the torch backward. Alright, well, one thing at a time. I'm visualizing my path before I start digging, because I don't want to dig 2 tunnels. So yeah, instead of having that go that way, we'll have the torch go this way, which means this would go all the way to 594 first. Alright, well, one thing at a time. I'll figure out how to navigate this area when I do. I'll start working on a tunnel in reverse order. I should be able to go underneath here, right? Because if this is 33, 32, 31. As long as I'm below the surface, that's the important part. And if the signal ever needs to move over, I can do that. I'm not below the surface. I'm below the stone. I do have to drop by a block. Alright, let's get all this ready. Because I'm pretty sure this is the topside grass, right? Well, maybe it's not. Oh yeah, it is in some areas. Okay, so yeah, I was right in my thinking. Alright, back to work. Hello, that's not what I wanted. Ah, we're so close. We almost made it. What I might do then... I'll probably just casually drop a little bit, temporarily. Only go forward a few blocks and then we'll go up again. Peekaboo, I see you. So this is the signal I have to leapfrog, essentially. But it looks like, as long as I stay on that side, I won't have to worry about it too much. Let's see if I can get back into that tunnel. So if I just jump over it, we should be all fine. In fact, we only have to go over by the one block, and then we can keep going in that direction. Because now, let me just get rid of that real fast. Easy access, relatively. Oh, there we go. As long as I don't put a repeater, that would accidentally power that. But I think we'll start laying down this redstone first. Alright, so as long as those two repeaters are powered, I'll be all set. Alright, so where am I at now? I'm at... Alright, get rid of these numbers. I still need to get to 561. Wait, is X really 561? Hold up. Is it 561 or 461? I don't know where I got 561 from. This is not 561. This is 582. Or sorry, this is 482. Okay. That's interesting. Alright, well, either way, I just have to make sure that this signal reaches all the way over here. That's the part. I'm probably also considering getting rid of that torch and replacing with the signal all the way up until the first part where the signal runs out. But I'll take care of that and make sure that the signal has its proper polarity when I get there. Boop. No slime for me. Okay, so 482. That's our new value. Peekaboo. Uh-oh! I have a lot of redstone back there. I cannot get rid of that. So it looks like we're right at the edge here, which means we're going to drop down just a little bit more again. That could have been bad because I had a lot of redstone back here. I'm pretty sure it's all single wires, but that would have been really unfortunate. Now that I'm lower, I don't have to worry about flooding. Hello, cave. Gonna have to drop down there because I need to pick up the stone I collected. Oh, there's an Enderman. Howdy, howdy. Let me just light this place up real fast. Wonder if this is the cave where I was dealing with bad guys before. Where it said, you may not rest now, there are monsters nearby. Oh, is this the end of the line? Cool. There's now one less area where bad guys can spawn in. Let me start laying this down again. I think I might be out though. Oh no, never mind. I thought I deconstructed less than that. Anyways, not important. So now we keep going. 487, 486, right here. Because I'm way down here at... Oh wait, is the wall? Oh, we're so close. And we're also going to have to stay down here. Well, either way. Oh wait, it's 482, not 486. Alright, hold up. Just kidding. We keep going forward. Uh-oh. Oops. Oh no, Enderman, I'm sorry. There go my torches. Well, that could have been worse. Thankfully, it's just torches washing away, and it's not redstone washing away. Alright, well, now that that's all taken care of, let's be smart about this as we continue forward. Since it turns out there's more water floating around than what I thought. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll block it off up there, then block it off there again. Alright, what are we working with? An entire flooded cavern. I remember this place. So what we're going to do is put a stop to that. Go this way a little bit. Now can I start going up? Hold on, what did I just dig into? More of that, we'll have to keep that buried, which means this is where I have to stop at 29, and I still need to get to 31. Oh, hello. I did not mean to uncover all of this. Alright, so that could be difficult. Can I go up by 1? Block that off in case of flooding. Not particularly, unless if I filled more of this in. And there's the signal. Hooray! So, we're gonna run this wire down. What I might just end up doing is covering this right over here with dirt. Yeah, first we gotta get the signal as far as we can. So if it stops there, this is where we put the torch. I think. Yeah, because I turned the signal off. Hold on, let me turn it back on again. Let me also grab the dirt, because while I'm here... you know what, I'll fill that in last. But yeah, I'll put some dirt to cover that up, and then not walk in it. That'll be fine. And a zunk. Oh wait, this is just the output signal. I'm still gonna have to bring the return signal. Okay, one step at a time. Let me turn that back on. I'll figure out the return signal later. Let's just get this going first. So now I can cover that up. Can I dig up from here? Oh wait, I don't need that block. So this is the part where I put a repeater and then I put a full block. But can I just bunny hop over this? Alright, cool. Maximizing the signal, every block counts. Except right here, because I cannot utilize it in this scenario. Not unless I did the old torch method by getting rid of that and having the torch there, but then I would just need to make sure to put another torch at the end. Back before there were repeaters, I'll just put one over there. Can I dig up from this? I see water. Was there water beneath here? Yeah. So much for trying to maximize the area. Because I could do that, but I would have to put the block there. Oh well. See, over here is safe though. I could jump that. And then last thing, because I'm not worried about distance, we'll just set that down. Huzzah! We did it! And how many bad guys are now in here? I can't tell because that's not an accurate display of the darkness. That's not even the darkness. That's just whatever. Alright, well, at last we have power. Now there's power input. So if I turn this off... In fact, hold on, what is this? Hold on. Let's close that real fast. So all this building has light, right? So let's go all the way back to square one. But yeah, it's not going to be very fun trying to send that second signal back. I don't really need a return signal, but those return signals help me to guarantee that there is indeed power going all the way there, and it's coming all the way back. Yeah, if I go all the way over here, right, it's that one, this is what, power level 3. So with that being power level 3, if I head in here, in fact, can we peek inside the building from this area, or is it just all black? It's all black. Oh, well, you can kind of see the light from the pillars. So right now we're at power level 3. If I decrease the power to level 4, there's still light going on in there. But then I press it again. So now we're at power level 2. You saw the lights turn off because now power level 2 is no longer... I should say power level 3 is not on. So now I can turn that back on. And so everything inside should be back up and going. Yep. Alright, let's bring it back up to full power, level 4. Alright, cool. I did it. We now have one working signal there. I just need to get another signal coming back. Alrighty. One step at a time. So, the next thing I gotta do is I need to hook up that lamp down there to a signal that's running all the way from over there. And I think we're gonna take a totally different path. Probably not the best way to go about it. Usually you would want your wires close to each other if they're all going to and from the same area. I don't think I need to do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start over on this side. Probably. Here, let me get where my area is. So for the return signal, if I really wanted, I could run it all the way from that side. Run it from the far end of the building. Oh wait, no, that's not gonna... But then the return signal is gonna be dependent on whether or not I'm sending power out. Because that's the power output right here. Through that block. So I can't do that. I would have to connect it somewhere around here. In fact, I think... Yeah, hold on, let me flip this real fast. Okay, so yeah, I would have to pull the signal from around here, essentially, and then just whoop it on back. Alright, so that way it's not dependent on the light control, because I don't want the return signal to be affected by whether or not I'm actually using it. Anyways, the chorus is all green because Enderman Eyes used to be green, and so everything that's purple in the end is now green. Thus, chorus is green. Spill and Dark, turn that on. Alright, so to send the signal back, I'm thinking. Maybe what I could do is turn that into a repeater. That way this signal is separated from that one. And then I could plop a dust there. And then we could just start zooping on back. Since we're going to have to be low, I might as well drop down to 28 to begin with. Or 29 perhaps. Alright, well, now we keep moving forward. I'll figure out what to do with the return signal once I get there. The first thing we'll have to overcome, though, is the area. I don't do enough small details to take advantage of banners. Very few times have I ever used them in a survival world. I end up putting them on shields. Back when I still used shields. Eventually, I just stopped caring. Alright, so this right here is the part I'm going to have to not deal with. So if I were to just get rid of that wall real fast, just say farewell to all of you. Put another torch right there. Now I have something to walk on. Hooray. Here, how about I start laying down redstone? Oh, block deconstruction, go. I'll make sure the signal is complete later. First, I need to make sure that all the wires are where they need to be. So what I can do is I might be able to hop over here. Because I can hop over that signal, and I can hop over that one. Oops. Is there anything up there? Nope. Hooray. So with all that connected, can I even get over there anymore? Oh, maybe not. I like my access points, though. There we go. Even though this area just became super messy, but that's okay. As long as the red dust gets to where the red dust needs to be. So now, this is a signal I'm carrying. I guess I might as well just keep it on the side of the wall here. Utilize just a slightly bit more space. And then disappear back here. So now, what I'm looking for is, oops, I need to find where the signal is supposed to lead. So our current position, let me write down my new numbers, 495, 31, 591. So let's head up top. Sun's going down already. Has it really been 55 minutes into today? Wow, we're coming up on the halfway mark. Zoop. Up. Never mind. Alright, I'll sleep later. So that's the signal there. It's going to have to cross over the current wire for the most part. Yeah, I can't go any lower than this, which means the crossover point's going to have to be farther up ahead. So yeah, what I'll do is... the signal has to go down here. Is there anything above that? Nope, cool. So I am on 30. Let me dig all this up real fast. In fact, here, before we start digging, since we're going back down, how about I catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Howdy, Potato, welcome back. Some interests like sticking around a while. I was stuck on Evangelion for like half a year. And then eventually I moved on. Alright, so if we're down at 30, we need to get to, what, 591? There's water up here right here. Let me do the top part first. There's the water. Peekaboo, I see you. Pick up the red dust. I didn't want to do that. Maybe this is the part where I get rid of the water. This water right here. Do I really need it? Not particularly. So I'll just say bye-bye. Tally you real fast. Well, okay, this is not supposed to be dirt. That's stone. That's how degeneration works. I'll fill this in some more later. But first, I just need to cross over the other wire. Which is right there. Wonder if I can go up. So you let me lay this down real fast. And so if I want to keep this walkway, I have to keep that stone there. Yeah, I have to keep that stone. I don't have a way out right now. Oop. Maybe I'll just do that. Oh, in fact, here... I don't know. I'll fix this soon. Yeah, let's lay that down. And so now this is right above there, which means I might just end up filling that in. If I fill in this wall, then I won't have to deal with this redstone back here. Anyways, I still have to get all the way to 591. That's a lot of water. Do I care about it, though? A little bit, I guess. I'll just stay above. Alright, so where did you come from? I didn't even realize I plopped into a cave. That's a potato I don't need. Speaking of potatoes... Oh, hello. No green bean for me. Anyone else in here? Maybe this is one of the caves where they kept spawning in and preventing me from sleeping. Alright, well anyways. Oh, I don't have the space for that. Oops. Is there anything that can be combined? Not particularly, but I could put my slime balls up here. No, I keep the slime balls where they're at. I'll put this here. Alright, so now this goes. I could use the zombie flesh for wolves, I should say. I almost said wolf taming. But no, you tame them with bones. Wolf breeding. Alright, so next is... I don't know if I will actually use that. I focus on the possibility. The potential. You gotta see the potential. Oh wait, 591? 591 was way back here. I was going in the wrong direction. This is 591. The signal was not supposed to go this far. Oops. I was thinking that I was increasing, not decreasing. Pay attention to what you're doing, kids, or else you end up in caves. Alright, so 591 was back here. Which means all of that can be cleaned up for the most part. Let me just hop on top real fast. So this is 31. This is where I need to be. Let's probably fill that in. Make it look a little bit nicer. Keep that in case I ever want to go for a swim again. I know I have a hoarding problem. I was talking about this with someone recently. Hello. It's Minecraft, though. That's alright. Okay, so that's all dirt. I'll keep that like that for now. Alright, so what we gotta do is hope we don't run out of signal down there. Because now I have to pull it from all the way on this side. Oops. Oh wait, is that a repeater I put up there? No, it's not. I think I saw that light. Alright, nom 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 nom. So now we have to move the signal all the way over here. Let me just verify real fast. So yeah, that has to stay a repeater. So this is where our return signal goes. Bunny hop. See, this is the part where it's useful to take advantage of the slightly, or I should say the 1 block extra distance, because I'm just moving this redstone very, very far forward. Except I don't get to take advantage of that here. Oh wait, yeah, I do. Aha! Maximize the signal length. And since I'm probably going to end up closing that off, this is where we go back around. Well, in fact, hold on, does this ever connect? I think I blocked it all off. Yeah, it's all blocked off now. Let's not go this way. Let's get the oxygen back up. Should I know what the disturbing noise was? I saw there was a drowned over here. Oh wait, he's not a drowned, he's just a regular zombie. Yeah, that's one big... Oh, a loud cave noise. We had this discussion earlier. Yesterday, I should say. saying how I generally don't hear cave noises because of how quiet I keep the game on my end. If Ian was here, he'd probably tell you exactly which number, because he's spent the time memorizing all the different cave numbers for what sounds they correspond to. I just say spooky cave noise. Alright, let's shut that door. Don't need that maintenance access anymore. This is the part where we hope the signal is coming out on the other side. I did not exactly count just how far, but I think the repeater I last placed should carry it far enough. You know, this has been bothering me for a while. I have the dirt on me right now. We're gonna fill this in. It just looks weird having the drop and then you got the 2-block jump. So now what we're probably also gonna do, spread this just a little bit farther. Chunk border cleanup, yeah. We have underwater music. Oh yeah, 1.13. To this day, I still have not listened to the music, all of the music added between 1.13 and later. I've still only listened in its entirety C418 releases. The urge to fill this one in as well, with the knowledge of I gotta finish the redstone. We're almost done with this wire. Huzzah! Oh, nope, not nighttime yet. So, while we wait around for it to turn into night, I find the signal over here. Hooray, it reaches. Cool. Repeater. Turn that to stone. Does it reach? It reaches! Hooray! Except I think I have to put a torch on that. C418 made the water music. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, that has to be a torch. And now we could sleep. Reset the weather timer. And go from there. So now, if everything functions correctly, and I flip the lever, which one's 3? So this one's 3. If all goes correct, I turn this lever, no more signal being sent out, no more signal return. Zelenate Co is no longer receiving power. And so now I flip this switch. Power in, power out. Lights turn back on in there. Hooray! Alright, we're all set. It took me a long time. How many weeks have I been working on this? I don't know, but at long last, we now have all of this corrected. Let me just move all the cobblestone into there. I'll fill this one up later. Yeah, I have a stack and a half of pistons, and I didn't bother using any of them because I didn't think about that until it was too late. We're gonna have more stone that's been cobbled. Alright, we can finally pack it up and do something else. Get that out of my offhand. I like my offhand free for whenever I need +1 inventory slot. Oh, you know what? Here, I think I will keep that temporarily. I think the point of creative music is that, or I should say the music playing only in creative mode, is to keep it exclusive. Someone made the comment on that on a video I had playing a long while ago, within the past few years, that some of the best soundtracks are locked to creative mode only. Oh well. Doesn't that make them more special, though? That's assuming you equate being special to exclusivity. Psychology, am I right? One 1.15, they redid the rendering entirely, and so this is a problem. It doesn't happen in vanilla, though. I don't know what they did, but off in the distance, the textures kind of just say, I'ma disappear. That's not entirely true. Grass disappears, other blocks just turn black. And the thing is, this is a resource pack thing. I don't know how to correct it, because it does not occur in vanilla. I don't think. Alright, let me just grab a little bit more cobblestone, fill up this box entirely. Hooray! I finally have an entirely full cobblestone shulker box again. Alright, now I can start getting all this stuff out of here. I feel like I had other plans for what I wanted to do with this redstone, but I can't remember, so we're gonna leave it. The last thing I'll need to... Oh! I didn't add a roof to the power station. Oops. Hold on, we're not done with redstone just yet. However, I'm just gonna use slabs again, so I'll keep that as the building material. The other stuff can go away. How many smooth stone slabs do I have? Oh, I got plenty. I don't need to take any of the full blocks. Oh yeah, I was also going to use this gravel for pathways. Oops. So yeah, keep the gravel, keep the smooth stone slabs. I think everything else can go away. I'll hold on to a little bit of stone, because I might need it just for cleaning up. And then same thing with a little bit of the dirt. So I don't need this many repeaters. I'll keep the torches. I'll take all the dust again. I'm pretty sure I don't need another lever, but I'll take a couple anyway, in case I end up using these for other stuff. And so for the lamps, I think I'll need a little bit more lamps. And now that I have a bunch of redstone, what we're gonna do is we are going to create another stack of lamps, since I don't know how many I have. Might as well spend it all now. Boop. There we go. I don't know how many I'll need for the ceiling lights, but I might as well keep them on me. You know what, we're off in this direction. Howdy, howdy, welcome back. Excuse me, Mr. Golem. Oh no! The iron golems, you can see how much damage they've taken. This guy's doing terrible. I didn't know that was a 1.15 feature. For some reason I thought that was like 1.18. I'm gonna have to repair these guys. I don't want to keep making memorials. Alright, while we're here, let's just put away all these sticky pistons that I ended up not even bothering to use. Maybe one day I'll just redo the entire power setup, but I feel like I'm not gonna want to do so. Because I've done much simpler solutions in the past. It's my fault for not thinking about it. Oh well, too late. What's in this chest? Oh, nether stars. This is where I would put my nether stars. If I had any nether stars. And Zombo Flesh goes back. Oh wait, hold on. Stone Brick. Stone Brick and Zombo Flesh. Alright, there we go. The clean inventory is a happy inventory. I'm doing much better now. Yeah, why is it only a couple of the golems that are doing so poor? Most of them are looking pretty fine. Interesting. I'll be bringing some of that iron and fixing these guys up before I leave again. Alright, keep that. Let me put away the slime balls in the event that I tackle more slimes and proceed to collect more of those, of which I don't need. Alright, toss that. And now signs. Before I forget, I'm gonna grab a bunch of signs. I don't know how many I'm going to need, but I'll just take all 16 in that stack. And so the last thing we're gonna do is grab some iron bars and start repairing the golems. I don't know how many bars are required to fully repair a golem. I don't know how much one iron bar repairs him. Just checking. Anyone else over here? Nope, they're all fine. Yeah, most of them haven't taken any damage. It's only a couple of them. Not any of you guys. Oh, that one. Probably wasn't worth repairing him. I don't know how useful he's going to be down there. I don't even know how many stages of crack the golems have. I don't remember. Is the sun going down already? It's already becoming nighttime. Beep beep. Thank you. Well, this guy's not doing good. That guy took 4. He was very low. And that's the last of the iron I had on me. I might grab a couple extra blocks and move around as I head on back. So any extra iron I have now could be utilized to repair him. Alright, well I guess we're all set. Alright, back to work. The last finishing touches. I'll also need to make sure that I have whatchamacallit. I need to make sure I have any signs placed inside the area first. The Zelenako. I see it. The big gray box looming in the distance. Although it's not entirely gray now. I do hope, though, that the rendering gets corrected by the full release. If this is still a problem by the time we officially hit 1.15, then I don't know how long we'll have to put up with it. Because for all I know, it's going to be sticking around for the rest of the series. Alright, anyways, now that we're back here... Oh, it looks like I already have signs inside. Alright, I'll start out over here then. Nope, I don't want your slime balls. I have plenty. At some point I'll build that bounce house. In fact, maybe I'll do that next. Alright, so this is gotta be... I don't know, maintenance area. Maintenance or maintenance? Hold up. No, wait, no, isn't it maintenance? For some reason, yeah, I was right, maintenance. Okay. Because I want to say maintenance. Well, that's not the correct thing. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put a door here. Oops. That's okay. So I'll just call this redstone access. And I have no idea why the sign rendering is so dark when I'm typing on it. Almost looks like spruce wood. Alright, so now over here. You're right, it should be red dust access. Because we have red dust in this world. So says all the items, right? Block of red dust torch, red dust repeater, red dust. Something used to be called red dust wire. But I think that's the physical block placed in the world and not the item we normally carry. That's a buzz. Think it's important? Probably not. Alright, not important. Okay, I can't remember which one was 4 and which one was 1. Because I want to label each of the 4 areas over there. Let me disable one, because I know it's in sequential order. Oh, in fact, hold on. Let me write this down. Power level 4. Alright, so now decrease power. We are now level 3. And so head off in this area. As I feast again. Nom nom nom. Okay, so yeah, this one's 4. So I'll call this, I guess, generator 4. I don't feel like spelling hydroelectric. I don't know in what scenario I would ever turn these off normally, apart from basic demonstrations. But hey, I might as well keep them all labeled anyways, even though I'm probably just going to have all 4 of them on at all times. Why does the top of the slime turn dark? Under what circumstance? Oh wait, hold on, is it when they step on a torch? No. I don't know. Yeah, this guy's bothering me. Bye-bye. Slimes go zoom. Alright, back to work. So, is everything in there labeled? Everything out here has been labeled as well. I didn't put a door here either. Oops. And I think this is the part where I covered that up. Hopefully I'm not going to be down there anymore. This place doesn't... I didn't put doors on anything. It's just all open. So yeah, for this, I'm probably going to fill it in now, since I don't know how much more I'll be down there currently. So with that taken care of, what I'm thinking of doing is labeling all of these for now. I don't feel like putting unused on every single lever in here, so we're just going to leave it blank. Oh wait, those were all my signs. Oops. Hold on, we gotta go home. I'll be back. Back forth, back forth. Alright, still have plenty of daylight hours left. Hopefully not too long until nighttime. I should say hopefully longer until nighttime. Less times I have to sleep. I also saw this guy doing his job. Nope, does not need repairing. See, I don't know what they fight where they take so much damage from. I'm probably also gonna leave the rest of the bars behind now. I don't know, not important. Okay, so I can leave this. I don't plan on doing any more repairs. And then signs. Let me take the other stack of 16. In fact, let me be smart about this. Where's my door chest? I don't have any oak doors. Okay. Let's make a bunch more. Do I want anything other than oak? Man, this lighting though, all this block lighting, they totally made it feel like beta 1.8 all over again. Okay, so I need 4 for there. Plus another one for the maintenance access. And then 2 more for the thingy. 4, 5, 6, 7, so we'll craft 9. Hopefully I don't need any more than 9 doors. Got my doors and my signs. I think we're all set. OBS says a little more than half an hour for the day. Where did the last hour go? I should say where did the last half hour go, since I remember looking over and saying just under an hour has passed already. Time goes zoom. I hear you, slime. I'm gonna ignore you. I don't feel like dealing with him right now. Of course, if I go far enough away, eventually it'll despawn. It would be rather interesting, though, if one day I decided to put fences around every single slime chunk. I would need a slime chunk map, but that would be one way to prevent them from being a nuisance for the rest of the series. The problem is, there's a lot of slime chunks in this area. I want to say it's every 1 in 8. On average, at least. You got lucky, though, when multiple slime chunks are right next to each other, because it's easy to deal with. So I place down those 4. So yeah, I was right. The last one I need is over here. I don't know yet what I'll do for the big door right here. They're probably just going to be open for now, because I don't know if there's a way to make it look nice. Alright, we're all set. Well, relatively. I got all the doors in place. We need to go back to the signs. Wait, when did number 4 turn off? Hold up. Wait, we got a problem. What went wrong? Because I'm looking at this. We still have power being sent, but the power... Oh boy, do I have a repeater powering a dust it's not supposed to? I worked on this, and it functioned. Why did you stop functioning? I wonder if it happened when I filled in a hole I wasn't supposed to, when I was fixing the floor. Yeah, we're currently only at power level 3. Why is there still power being sent over there? Hold on, let me verify everything over here. After I catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Oh, I know why. Because the warehouse isn't on power level 4, it's on power level 3. Never mind, everything's functioning. Okay, so that means if I were to decrease the power to number 4, or decrease it to level 2 instead of 3. So if I decrease from 3 to 2, now the warehouse lights go off. Alright, cool. So yeah, everything's working. I was just thinking that it was on 4, not 3. Alright, well, that is a nice big party potato. Alright, eat to heal up, and then I'll place down the rest of these signs. Make sure this area is all clean. Well, I guess it's clean enough. Oh wait, I still have this big old gaping hole here. Do I have any more dirt? Because if I could fill that in now, that would work out the best. $56, that's close enough. I think I'll only need about half of this to fill it in. And from here, now what you do is you put stone on the underside of all of this, because that's the floor place. There we go, this looks much nicer. And then boop, boop. And there we go. No one will ever know this was here. In fact, let me just fill all this in as well. If I need another maintenance point, I can get back down there later. So the last thing to do, since I'm pretty sure there's nothing else that needs to be done underneath. Oh, I already filled in inside. Alright, cool. All the redstone is now covered, apart from all the big old wires we have hanging out over here. But that's okay, I suppose. So this is the wire that has to be hooked up to the roof that hasn't been constructed yet because I left the slabs in the box. Let me go get the slabs. Can I Halo reach from here? No. I'll also work on the pathway, but that'll be later. I want to fill all this in first before I start spending gravel to have pathways going between the two locations. So what I think I'll do first is I'll start filling in the roof in its entirety, and then I'll add lamps from there. Probably not too many. I have this image in my mind for how I anticipate I'll do this. I'll just need to make sure that I have enough space and that the math lines up well. Oop, we're good. I don't know what it is with me and not working on the roof until much later. I guess it's nicer just to utilize skylight to keep things nice and bright while you're working. And then once you're done, you could work on the lighting and filling that all in. So yeah, most of this doesn't seem too bad other than I do have all this redstone currently exposed on the outside areas. Oh well. So I'll look on the inside and see where the lamps would best look. Because I'm currently thinking of having these little strips going across in the middle. Because if I had like 2 here, skip maybe 2 blocks. Maybe I'll skip 3. In fact, what if, hold on, if I had 2 from there, skip 3, 2 from there, skip 3. It's gonna make a big old square in the middle. I think this should be fine. And so that's where, hold on, let me start putting these signs down again. So this one is, I guess internal lights. Although the internal lights aren't really gonna do much if everything else is already taken care of. So that's also where the extra levers come in case I ever end up using them for anything. There goes every sign, every lever have a sign? Nope, I missed these 2. There we go, 4 left. So the last step is gotta be the easy one. I'll just need to put in the lamps in the ceiling and then just have a wire connecting all of them, making sure they're all on. As long as the AND gate that I previously placed down is receiving power. I should say as long as that AND gate is in the on state, because it takes the level 1 power plus the light switch, the local output. There we go. So even with the lights off, as long as power is going out, which I probably, from a good electrical perspective, I probably should be setting them all off because they're not connected to anything. And I should only focus on the internal lights. Because yeah, I'm sending power out, but if I'm not sending that power anywhere, that could lead to problems. So yeah, I just have to take the one signal that is way over here. What I might end up doing is running a strip on the inside portion of this. And then if this is biased left, then this one biased left would put it on this side as well. Let me hook all this up real fast, then we'll go from there. Still have enough, right? Oh yeah, I have plenty in case I run out of my current stack. Alright, the last thing I need to do is get that signal over here. Let's get the stone and go from there. Maybe I should be running this on the floor all the way until I need it. Because what I could do is I can have the dust go there. I'll need one more slab. I can have the dust go here. And then to make sure that this isn't connected, I just have to set those down. But other than that, I can now start having the signal go down, which will make it look just a little bit cleaner and not having all this redstone floating about. I don't particularly want to run it on the floor though, unless I really need to. Alright, hold on. Why is this off? Oh, I didn't put redstone there. There we go. Alright, cool. We're getting there. So this one, I'm not going to maximize the distance because I don't need to. Oh, no way. I am one block short. I am so close. Because if I can move this over by one more block, because if I could put that repeater there, that one repeater will power all of this. Oh, no, it won't because that last dust isn't powered. Alright, never mind. I was really hoping I could get away with this. What I could do is I could save on repeaters by putting this one over here. Which means, hold on, let me get a refund on this slab. Y'all know me and odd numbers. So I could put the repeater slightly farther and then just have another one. Put the other repeater farther behind. There we go. Or in fact, what I could do is I could put the repeater over here, and then this is 2 stone I don't have to keep there. There we go. Alright, I think the last thing I want to do is put a torch on each of these. Just to make sure no bad guys pop up. And I'll probably, in fact I will not probably, I for sure will be putting torches down here as well. Because I don't want bad guys spawning around this place when the lights are off. If they spawn inside, oh well, but I don't want them outside. I think now we're all set. Redstone does not look the best over here, but that's okay. I did consider building a big ol' outer facade for it. I voted against that. Oh, this pillar doesn't belong there. Wonder how long I left that without realizing. There we go, now it's all nice and bright in here. So what we'll do is we're gonna turn the master switch off for 1, and 2, and 4. We'll keep the master switch on for 3, but then we're gonna turn off the signals that are not being used. Uh-oh. That's not right. Oh. Oh. I done goofed. I see an error in my setup. So... But why does this work, though? So my problem here is that that torch goes into the block, powering it. I didn't want that to happen. Maybe I can get away with using dust here. Because the block, the dust will not power other dust. But it turns out the dust can power repeaters. I didn't realize that. So, let me make sure that this is all fixed. Well, this is kind of nice. It saves me a repeater. Times 8. Good thing I caught that now. Alright, there we go. Let me hop back inside to make sure that all the signals are as they should. Oops, that one's unused. That's the master switch. There we go. Alright, cool. Everything is now functioning as they should. So this one is not Blink. This one is Zelenako. I'm not at all surprised if you're only half listening and misheard what I said. There we go. So that's all taken care of. We now have internal lights. So I can flip that off. Hooray! Alright, now we're completed. We have internal lights and a roof. We have a master switch for each of the 4 quadrants. We have power input for each of the 4. And we have the dedicated Zelenako switch working. And we have power coming from the dam at 4 different levels. I do like building redstone stuff. This is a puzzle. This is one big logic puzzle I had to solve. This was fun. All these different components had to get working together. From there, to here, to that, to all of this. Alright, at last it's all been taken care of. So now we're just going to leave that all open because that's just how it's going to be. Eventually, though, it'd be cool if I could simplify this. But yeah, I remember having a repeater go from here straight forward. And then I remember pistons controlling up and down to allow whether or not the signal should go in or not. Anyways, not important. With all of that taken care of, here, I guess I'll put down one more sign over here. Call it the power station. Power distribution station. Because this is not what generates the power. No, this is what generates the power. This is the, I don't know what to call it. Hydro red dust. I don't know, I'll just call it the, oh wait, hold on here, let me move this up. Power generation control station. There we go. And then over here, this is power distribution. This is power generation. Ultimate Minecraft power station. This doesn't feel like it's ultimate though. It may be the ultimate Minecraft Polyworld, but I don't know if this is the ultimate Minecraft power station. Decisions. I'll leave it there for now, as is. Let me remember to write down in the book though. Alright, with all that taken care of, let's work on the pathway. Pathways, I should say. I'm probably going to leave the Zelenako alone for now, because I don't have that much gravel. So we're going to start over here. I'm probably also going to use slabs for these, since there's no gravel slabs. I think I've said before, Minecraft is unlikely to have slabs of falling blocks. Because if you have falling block slabs, are they going to fall separately? I think that's the technical part they haven't figured out yet. Plus, that means can you not stack them because any falling block that lands on a slab gets turned into an item. Therefore, you cannot stack them. Alright, so each door is 4 blocks. This is so close. I need like a bridge here. I'll just probably poop. Do that. This is not going to be OSHA compliant, but most of my worlds are not. That's okay, they don't need to be. There's a video I watched yesterday while I was eating. It was Portal, but it's OSHA compliant. It's really interesting. Not much of the game has been made OSHA compliant. So far, only a few test chambers, 2 or 3 of them have been made OSHA compliant. It's really interesting though, seeing how the world would look, how the different different areas look if they were made to be OSHA compliant. The mod itself started, I think, earlier last year, so it's still early in development. But looks like good progress is being made so far. I don't know when the last release was. Oh wait, hold on. You know, we'll keep that as is. So then let me turn that in the dirt. Alright, so this goes up. Do I want it to go up again, though? Because I could just say farewell to this little thing, but I'm pretty sure I already got rid of a bunch of grass that was up here. I guess I'll keep it for now. I don't know if GLaDOS is removed, but the neurotoxin is definitely removed. Other things are removed. It's really interesting. There's an exit door in every single room, every single area of every single chamber. Rather interesting, I'd say. But it makes sense. It's kind of funny, though, that it took this long to have a OSHA compliant portal. I feel like Portal 2 would be much harder to do. But hey, gotta start somewhere. Maybe once the first one's completed, he'll start working on the second. Oops. I see an error. Oh wait, that's okay. What I'll just do is... boop boop. We'll never know. Alright, so most of this is now done. I'll have to connect it to the other pathway as well, but we'll get there soon. I have about 6 minutes to get there, in fact. This is really close quarters here. I'm gonna have to shave this down and put the slabs closer to there. Because all of this has to be gravel. Alright, let's start bringing that over, and that. There we go. Rather interesting history of a name right there, I say. Let me just get all of this real fast. Is that alright? I don't know, it's kind of... I guess what I could do is I could bring this down even more. Close enough, I guess. Alright, nighttime approaches. Let's reset the weather. Oh wait, I have the bed on me, oops. Yeah, we got 4 minutes. 4 minutes to hook up the other pathway. I don't know where the other pathway is gonna go, but I still think it would be rather cool if I could have additional redstone-based stuff going over here. I'm just gonna need a little break after all the logical reasoning I've had to do. Alright, so the other doorway is way on the left, but I don't particularly have a good space on this side to put the path, unless if I had it going straight across here. But I might need this area, which means the pathway is going to have to go around this side. I'll probably just put it up here, and I'll figure out how to connect from there. Is this like a chunk border I'm working at? No. Oh, I am. I'm totally working at a chunk border. Oh my gosh, you could see the spike. Hold on here. If I press that, you could see crossing over. So I can go from low to high, and then go on from high to low. You could see the difference. Why? Why you do this, game? Hooray, Minecraft and math. I'm gonna have to shave all this down if I want it to be that. Otherwise, I could just build this whole thing up. Alright, I can hide that now. Don't need it open. Move you over. Move you over. Yeah, I didn't realize crossing over certain chunk borders. Oh wait, hold on. No, it's not a region border. I don't know. Alright, so now... Now I can't stop thinking about it because I keep crossing the chunk boundary. Oi. Alright, well anyways, we're gonna have this be 1 block away from the side. So it's an extension of 3. Alright, since we're coming upon the end here, time to start saying your final thoughts now as we wrap it all up for the day. Tomorrow, pre-release 2. It'd be cool if the rendering bug was fixed, can't guarantee. Who knows what other sorts of problems. This is what happens when you rewrite the entire rendering engine. And so in 1.14 they redid lighting. 1.15 they redid rendering. Alright, so with all that taken care of, I'm finally happy with this whole area that has started under development. I still don't know what sort of name we'll call this. It's not part of Endevia Plateau. Endevia Plateau is still way over there. Yeah, if this could be a new redstone power-based area, that's kind of what I'm hoping to achieve. But we'll figure what's next later. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Bye.